What is up, guys? Welcome to Game Week 34. It's been a long time since I managed to get 3 people on here, or a total of 3 of us. So we are in for Game Week 34, 5 weeks left of the season. As you can see on the screen, that's the fixtures for the upcoming week. Who do we start off with? Do we start with Abin, since I have his team up here? And then, yeah,
of the week that's passed.
yeah. So this is your team.
So you're going with the weakest of the three of us.
Yeah, and then going upwards to we'll end with Rushant.
I think the last time I was on with Rushant, I was the highest of us three.
Yeah.
I'm the lowest of us three. Rushant had that for a free pick round or something.
Yeah, he had his.
He killed all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, I guess because you didn't do a video for the other week as well. Hang on. This is
33.
This is 33.
Yeah.
Yeah. For this one it was a hard one because I made some decisions that I regretted afterwards.
You made 2 transfers.
I had but I didn't take any.
No hits.
Hits. I had 2 free transfers. I was so unsure of, because I had my goalkeeper was Mendy. I was so unsure of him because I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't following the news, and I saw that he wasn't starting.
Yeah.
Kepa was back in, and he had some clean sheets, and I was like, oh, okay, is he back to number 2 again, Mendy? So then then I thought it was an injury or something going on. Then I just went, oh, okay, I was going to change it up to Schmeichel. And I guess it didn't prove anything.
Yeah.
Came straight back in and got you a nice 5 points to my 2. Then and the other change I made was whose other change I made?
Madison or
who?
Is it Madison?
No, Madison I've had for 2 weeks now, and he's done nothing for me. I've had him for 2 weeks and trying to be a differential from all of you people, but he's done nothing for me. So
fair enough. Who do you have? I don't see. Real Rudiger.
Shaw. I got rid of Shaw for holding.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got rid of Shaw for holding. Because I was what is I trying to do? I just didn't have money for something, and I had to make a decision, and I took for Shaw out because I just thought United had a couple of tough fixtures coming up. And I didn't expect them to keep a clean sheet against Leeds, and then they got Liverpool this week.
Yeah.
So
but then for Shaw's attacking creativity, you should have still kept him on compared to Holding.
Yeah, well, Holding wasn't supposed to even be my starting. I can't understand why I had him as my starting. He was supposed to be a cheap option that I had on the bench. And then I've got Rudiger sitting at 8 points on my bench. That is a waste.
Yeah.
Cody I've had for a while. That is disappointing. That I think everyone has a Wolves player in defense. It was very disappointing to get a thrashing from Burnley. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
No.
And then I think everyone else was average.
You had Salah captain, which paid off. And then Iheanacho as well, saving the game week. Trent Alexander-Arnold, a couple seconds away from a clean sheet and a bonus point.
Right.
Yeah. Not bad.
I just wish Madison had done something the last 2 weeks, so I could have kicked all of you guys, but he's done nothing. So I'm still waiting for my returns on him. I've tripled up on Leicester players now.
Fair enough. So 113,000, almost there. Top 100k. Fell out of top 100k. Will be back hopefully in 5 weeks left.
That's right. I hope so.
Let's see.
Focus now since I've moved house.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, now moving on to, let's go to mine. So not too much higher, 49 points. Mendy and Christensen both with the clean sheets, and both got yellow cards. So unfortunately, I lost a point there. Cody got thrashed by Burnley, and I did have Vidra, but Wood was the only striker out of the 2 who was scoring for some reason, so a bit disappointed with Vidra there. I bought in Greenwood because of Greenwood's recent form, and I thought that United will try and get a goal at least against Leeds. I didn't expect Dallas to keep a clean sheet, which Rushant benefited from.
Yeah. I tell you what, 3 weeks ago, everyone got rid of all Leeds players because they had City, Liverpool, United. and they beat City and then drew against United and Liverpool. What
Yeah.
an unbelievable result! And so
Leeds defense has improved recently, but that has come at the cost of their attacking, which is noticeable, like from Bamford's
well,
like
because I think
output.
also because Rafinha is not even playing anymore.
Yeah,
Not
Rafinha is
even,
also,
so that
and
creativity's kind of gone.
also I believe Calvin Phillips, their midfielder, is also not in the team properly. So they're defensive. They're more defensive compared to how they used to be.
Yeah.
But then that helps with Harrison being more attacking because he goes gung ho on the long balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trent, unfortunately, I thought could benefit. He was a few seconds away from
Yeah.
getting me about 7 points. Jota has been, so Jota and Fernandes, the big talking points, I guess, for a lot of people wondering what to do with that.
Yeah.
I still will keep Greenwood. Vidra is just there for cheap option, and Captain Iheanacho somehow came clutch because Crystal Palace had the worst defense going into the game week, and Iheanacho was on form, so I put him on. It worked. I thought it was
without him. I mean,
no. Without him, I would have.
On Sunday night, you were like,
yeah, I was dreading it, and then Rushant was like, "Nah, keep the faith. Something will happen." But yeah, I was dreading it. Yeah. So 49, still in the top 100k. I lost only like 1% rank change, so it's fine. Still there, top 100k. Moving on to the man who made it.
Oh, did you get a red arrow last week?
Yeah, I got a tiny red arrow. My first red arrow in like 4 weeks. So yeah. All right, Rushant, you're up.
Well, I mean, I think I had I guess looking at you two, probably a better week than both of you, but it still wasn't the best week, I guess, because there weren't many high scoring midfielders, which always is it's always going to cause big upset, I guess, because many people have a stacked midfield and the differentials of their defense, I guess. So I got pretty lucky. My only change was bringing in size this week. Again, similar theory to Abin, where Wolves defense, having kept clean sheets, easy fixtures, going in, getting trashed by Burnley 4-0 was not the result I had hoped for. I was thinking of bringing Cody in, but many people had Cody, so I just thought a differential option. Still a Wolves defender. I mean, size has been attacking in the past. Can never say, but clearly I was wrong. Phillips, obviously, I think I started him and then Holding came on. Not really sure. I think he's injured, isn't he?
He isn't injured. Is that I think he wasn't fit for the last game. He could maybe play against United. Not really sure. If not playing against United, he would probably, because I think Klopp still prefers Phillips and Kabak as the partnerships, so that he doesn't have to put Fabinho in centre back.
Yeah, right.
But just because Phillips was just coming out of injury, he wasn't ready for that game.
So I think I started Phillips. I think I had Rudiger as the first sub, and luckily the 8 points came through, which paid off. Again, Iheanacho, same thing. I didn't really need. I kind of was hoping Iheanacho didn't perform as much as to him. And everyone in my league in the top 5 or top 6 had Iheanacho. So at that point, at Sunday night, it wasn't really a differential as such. I was watching a bit of the Leicester game, and he wasn't that attacking early on because they didn't have many. I don't know. Let's accept this. Look kind of weird. Vardy had a few attempts, but Iheanacho was just there. And the second half just came and turned around. Yeah, I mean, usual. I think the midfield is pretty much a very, very popular midfield. Everyone has Lingard, Jota, Salah. I think a lot of people are getting rid of Fernandes now just because he hasn't delivered returns last 3 or 4 games.
What do you think of Pickford on your bench there?
Yeah,
9 points.
That was the first game, and I thought I was never going to start Pickford. I just think that Everton's defense is. I would have still started Martinez over Pickford 100% of the times because not really confident of Everton's defense. I guess should have kind of figured out against Arsenal. Could have taken a punt, but regardless, I wasn't too concerned by that again because, as I said, Martinez is where everyone had most of the goalkeepers. There wasn't a big differential jump. If I did start Pickford, yes, but apart from that, there was no other goalkeeper who really stood out, I think, this week. I mean, having Son and Kane in the bench because their bye week was a lot of dollar values saved at the bench. So hopefully, when they come back next week, should be looking good.
Did Everton play at home? No, they were away. Interesting. Usually Everton, I think, kind of. I'm not sure if they're weaker away or weaker at home. There's like the one thing where they're weaker against. So I think they're weaker at home. So
Mm,
maybe away fixtures you can target.
maybe.
But let me see. Probably it shows you.
Well, that
Uh,
defense is the best, to be honest. Like,
yeah, the defense isn't that great.
how many clean sheets have they got? Only 7 clean sheets.
Nah, yeah, that's the thing. It's
Yeah,
not
you
that
know,
that
yeah.
Yeah.
it's not
I mean,
that great.
that is just luck. I mean, for the longest time, I had Luke Dean in my team. He didn't do anything
Yeah.
for me. You know, just
And
2
also, like,
points,
if you
1
look
2
at
points.
Pickford as well, he's been getting swapped with both.
Yes.
Uh,
Ancelotti will continue to do that.
Exactly.
He has mentioned
I
it.
brought in Pickford for the double when they had in game week 26, and he's just been my bench ever since.
Yeah, I mean they have an upcoming double as well. Possibly, we don't know which week yet. It's assumed that it'll be game week 35. I guess we might as well move on to that. So this, if I can get it up, this is a potential double looking option. So Aston Villa and Everton obviously have the upcoming double against each other. Crystal Palace have a really good double in terms of just game week 35, but outside of game week 35, they probably have incredibly hopeless fixtures. So for anyone on a free hit, maybe you can bring in Zaha, but if you don't have a free hit, I don't know what you're going to do. You probably don't want to bring any Crystal Palace players. Everton, West Ham, Aston Villa, not the best fixtures for a defender because I can see both West Ham and Aston Villa scoring.
Everton is not that bad though. They got that double game week, and
I think
look too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad compared to the rest.
Yeah.
It's just that for attacking points, maybe you can have like Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison,
Yeah.
Rodriguez who is back as well. Arsenal, anyone with holding? So you guys have holding West Brom and Chelsea. Chelsea game could be a 0-0. Never know.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know what's going to happen to Holding with with the other guy coming back from injury.
Oh yes, David Luiz.
David Luiz.
Yes, that's the thing. So I think everyone was like Holding's going to be there until David Luiz is out, but when David Luiz comes back, yeah. But then something to keep in mind is that Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester, United, if they have a double game week in 35, can blank in 36. So there is a very high possibility that a lot of teams are having at least 6 players from all of those teams combined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that means there are going to be in 36 there are going to be teams without a full 11 possibly. So it depends on how you navigate your team as well.
I got 3 Leicester players. That's no problem.
Yeah, so I feel like this game week 34, a lot of the decisions are going to be heavily weighted on what happens with game week 35 as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, anything that stands out here in terms of the doubles?
I didn't realize there were so many doubles. I just thought there was only a few, like couple of game weeks missing.
So I think this is switching because of the FA Cup. So Leicester and who is it?
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah. So Leicester and Chelsea, because of their fixtures switching, the Arsenal and United games also get affected. And then obviously Everton and Aston Villa had to play each other, and I think Crystal Palace and Southampton have a game as well.
Yeah, I think if you look at that Crystal Palace game in 35, it looks really juicy.
Yeah, it does.
Palace have been good in the sense that they don't have many injuries in the attack. Against Leicester, Zaha scored, right?
Yes.
Scored. The defense was nothing to be proud of, but yeah, you wouldn't be looking at bringing in any Leicester Palace defenders as such. But yeah, I guess you have Zaha, Benteke, or
I guess Zaha or Benteke. But the thing is, I feel like the template right now is so strong that trying to fit in Zaha or Benteke in a midfield 5, which is already like stacked set for like the rest of the season, is going to be a hard thing unless it's on a free hit.
Yeah.
But there is potential, like huge upside potential, if you bring in Zaha for that week.
Yeah, and I think the doubles are always, you should never discount the doubles. They're always advantageous. Unless, you could say that, if you have one game of, top player who's who's owned a lot, and then you have 2 games of Zaha, I still think the safer or the more advantageous player is probably playing that player who's going to play 2 games.
Yeah.
Even if he gets 2 points, there's a chance he can assist or whatever, which backs up. So it might still turtle up to that one good player who is going to be scoring or potentially
Yeah.
contributing. But I think if you have the opportunity to bring in someone like Zaha for that double, I would. That's definitely something I would look at doing.
And he has a gaming 36 compared to some of these teams that could blank.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's Aston Villa. It's not against a team that is currently keeping clean sheets. Aston Villa aren't really keeping clean sheets. Even though a lot of people have Martinez, but that's probably because of the save points that Martinez gives.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the upcoming double. Thoughts on game week 34? Who would you captain? So let me just go to 34.
Is that your internet connection?
That's my internet connection, probably.
Yeah.
Yes. Everyone's at home, so yeah. I am thinking Kane, captain, potentially.
Yep.
I'll just go to my team and show you guys what I have right now. I haven't picked a team yet, probably. I'm still messing around with it, but this is what I'm looking like. Probably Kane.
No transfers.
I don't know who I'm going to bring. It depends on the game week 35 announcements as well.
Yeah.
I can't make a transfer.
Fernandes.
See, this is the question. Now, everyone's talking about Fernandes and Jota, right? If Fernandes has a double game week upcoming, I would be really scared to go into that double game week without Fernandes. And it's not like Fernandes. See, I don't know. Watching United, Fernandes has those chances. He takes a majority of the set pieces. He shares it with Shaw. And he's been still providing numbers. Like if you look at his stats, he's still very high on goals, like a potential haul incoming in terms of goals or assist. So there is the option of like he's still getting the numbers, the underlying numbers. He's just not converting them at the moment. But for 12.6, and given that Salah right now is hitting form, Salah does seem very tempting. The only thing is Fernandes has a double and Salah doesn't. But Salah's fixtures after this Liverpool game are probably the best fixtures upcoming.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have Salah because I feel like he's one of those players, who's highly owned.
I sadly can't afford him unless I switch him for Son or Fernandes. And I was like, see, I didn't plan on bringing Salah until now. I was like, I'm not going to bring him until the United game. Because I felt like until the fixtures were like, I guess it worked out because he didn't play against Leeds and he only scored against Newcastle.
Sure. I don't think he's done much as such.
Yeah, and I don't expect him to do much against United as well. So
yeah, interesting you talk about the Fernandes having a double because I think a lot of people are getting rid of Fernandes right now.
Yeah.
Even like me, I was considering getting rid of Fernandes as well because
in place of who?
Don't know. That's the thing. There isn't anyone clear cut. I already have Son, Salah, Lingard, and Jota. So I didn't really lean towards Greenwood like Ryan has. But there isn't anyone clear cut for me to bring in. Like you got Maddison as well. I was looking into Maddison as well, but then I saw him playing the game. He played like trash.
Yeah, he wasn't that great.
Off, for Perez. So
it's not been the same since he had the injury. Before the injury was too good.
I think Maddison is. Maddison is also sharing his set pieces with Tielemans right now, ever since that injury. So
yeah, he's not the same. As in, like I think the Leicester attacks now changed more towards the wing backs and Ian Archer. So they just changed the dynamic. I think without Harvey Barnes and Maddison pre-injury. Yes, Ian Archer is still scoring, but I don't think Maddison's now a big part of their offense as such. Just yet.
Maybe not.
He will. He's not. He's still a good player, and he's in a very good team, top 4 team. So there will be games he will be contributing. But for me, he's not still warranting a pickup.
They still do have good fixtures though upcoming.
Next couple of games are really
good. So he could do like Southampton is a really good fixture to see what he does.
Sure.
Not only Maddison, but even Vardy, Jamie Vardy. If anyone has Vardy, is a good option.
I think Vardy's been getting very unlucky. You see him play, and he's definitely been the most threatening Leicester player.
I mean, ever since Nacho's emergence, he's been more of a creative player rather than the goal scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think so. I was talking about template. This is currently, so this is the, so if you look at like top 10K, I think all of us nearly have that midfield. I don't have Salah, but I have everyone else apart from Salah in that midfield. And I'm sure all of us almost have a very similar front line. And even a back line is very similar. So it's a very strong template that people aren't willing to switch for. And like, the thing is, the template is performing, right? It's not like it hasn't been performing. So because it's been performing, it's very hard to find like differential players. And even the overall, I guess Gundogan is that player. That's like, you can maybe put De Bruyne, but then the problem is we don't, with City's rotation policy. I mean, again, it depends on City's upcoming Champions League tie. So this has been recorded before their game against PSG. So maybe from if they get knocked out of the Champions League, then Kevin De Bruyne could be a good shout as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game is tomorrow, so I think City will, at the moment, they're pretty much, even though United, especially after United's draw last weekend, I don't think there's any threat of City to lose. Even before that, I don't think there was any real threat. So I think their focus will be Champions League as their number one priority, because they're pretty much locked up the Premier League.
Yeah.
They only need 5 points for the next 5 games to win.
Yeah, they're in the next semi-final. They're in the semi-final stage tomorrow, playing good PSG team. I think that's where their full focus will be. And I'm sure you have the likes of Gundogan and De Bruyne who might play, but
that's the thing.
Playing, I'll be very concerned starting them until the next couple of games as well, because
so it's the game week 34 that could see heavy rotation, right? And then depending on what happens in the second leg, if City do continue to, like, if they go to the finals, then you still wouldn't want any City players. But if they do get knocked out, they don't have FA Cup as well. They just have the Prem left. Then I think maybe you could try and see a few City players. It's a worth option.
It's really hard to predict what Pep does.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. But like, look at this. Like, Fernandes is owned by 66% of the overall and 82% of the top 10K.
Goodness me.
So I think it's a lot of people right now still are unsure, but it's probably like, if we go back to like the double game week, right? If you look at this double game week, which team would you target for captain?
I mean, Crystal Palace is looking like the easy fixtures, but then again, there aren't any good players in Crystal Palace. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, jeez, I don't even know.
See, that's the thing, right? Because I think, okay, Leicester or United are probably out of the big teams with probably the best captain candidates.
Yeah, I mean, even Everton players looking okay.
Yeah, but it's just that Everton haven't been performing the attack.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I feel like you'll see if Fernandes doesn't perform in 35, there's going to be major fallout after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't do anything by 35, he's dropped. With the bye week as well, he's not coming back.
Yeah. Because like after that, like I myself might be tempted to go Salah straight away after that. But yeah, it's a tough choice, and I don't know who we're going to pick. Are there any like players that you guys are thinking of getting in for 34?
Not at this point. I'm thinking of because I've got Trent, Salah, and Jota, Fernandes. So they're all playing against each other. With Fernandes against those 3. I don't know how I feel about Jota. If I might get rid of him, I don't know.
Apparently, Jota actually missed a lot of sitters in the previous game. So even though his scorecard is not showing it, he's still getting a lot of opportunities.
But he got even subbed at 57 minutes. I didn't get the 2 points either. Jesus. What's going on? I need more of a reliability than that.
He got but 5 shots, I think, on target. He just didn't score, I think. That's the
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
but
well, you guys have made me think about Zaha just because of the fixtures I've been seeing, but not for this week.
that's how you reel everyone in, Rushant.
Zaha.
No, but actually Zaha is not a bad option.
It's not. No,
Yeah.
Not for this game week.
Not for this,
Fine.
yeah. But like maybe for 35. I think if you'll see him in a lot of for that game week, you might see him in a lot of free hit teams.
100%.
Yeah.
If anyone's free in there, I think Zaha is pretty much the insta lock there.
Yeah.
Um,
Zaha, 3 Leicester players, probably. Yeah. The thing is, it's also weird to consider the blanks. Because I'm looking at Abin's team. So he has Fernandes, Madison, Iheanacho, Holding, Trent, Holding, that's it, and Schmeichel. So you have 3, 4, 5 players. Oh, and Rudiger. 6 players. Even if you bench 3, you had to figure out what you're going to do with the other 3.
Yeah.
Or you might have to transfer out at least 2 maybe for 36
Yeah, that's right.
to fill a squad even.
So I think I might just say a transfer this week. Let's see how I go.
Who the captain?
No, it's Kane, no doubt. Hopefully he's fit enough to be there. I know he played the final last week, but coming back from injury. But his is the most appealing fixture for sure.
And vice captain, who's gonna be?
Iheanacho.
Iheanacho. Yeah. Rush.
yeah, I mean, I think
Thinking.
as well. The only thing I'm a bit concerned is the whole Spurs manager situation. I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to have an impact, but hard to look past Kane and probably vice captain Son. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter because
If Kane starts, then yeah.
he should play. I don't see any reason why he won't be playing. But I also think even captaining Son's not a bad option, just as a differential Spurs player. Back from injury. I don't have Bale, but Bale, I don't know what's happening with Bale as well. He played
Yeah, that's it.
last game. That's the differential, I guess.
Anyone thinking of bringing back Bale?
No.
Given that Ryan Mason could go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too expensive, I think, for me.
Yeah, it's too expensive. There's no space for him here.
For 9 million. Yeah, fair enough.
We spoke about the template, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point bringing someone for that price point when you have other players who, if they perform, you're going to be really behind. So
yeah, because like even the upcoming game week, you have Lingard who's playing Burnley. You have Bamford and Dallas who are playing Brighton. So I think you have really good like options as well. Yeah.
To me, like the teams which are like probably like turning it around now, all those teams closing in relegation, and I think the top teams just trying to hold their positions, But now I think as we get closer to the end of the season, it'd be really interesting to see some of those teams closer to the border of like relegation or top 5, top 6. They're the ones who are going to be dangerous and who would really try to like start winning.
That's actually a good point because if you look at teams like West Brom, Pereira, if you look at his last few weeks, 10, okay, the 2, but 9, 21 in the last 4. This is since I think Sam Allardyce has decided to go gung-ho and go full on attack. Pereira does have penalties as well with him. Apart from Pereira, you have Callum Robinson in the forward line just for 5.2. He didn't have anything the last 2, but 8 and 11 before. Obviously, the Chelsea game, I guess, is a bit of a freak result, but it shows their attacking intent at least.
Yeah, and this is the team which in the beginning of the season we just thought is going to get relegated straight away.
Yeah.
Not really going to provide any sort of fight.
Yeah.
I still think like if you look at the table, I think it's a Sheffield, West Brom
at the bottom. Yeah.
And Brighton is 7 points from Fulham. So it is fairly a big margin, but you never know. Some of these, there's still 5 games to go. All it's going to take is for Brighton, and Brighton don't have easy fixtures either. So I think teams like Brighton, Newcastle are under definitely a lot of threat compared, from teams like Fulham and West Brom.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Newcastle also seem to be picking up, right? Like Joelinton, 9 and 6, I guess. 1-1, but the other two because he hasn't finished 60 minutes. But I think Callum Wilson and Saint Maximin are good options. Not now, but maybe if you look at the last two games, Sheffield United and Fulham. For the last two games, at least, they're probably a good option looking at.
Yeah, Saint Maxim has been really good. I think I've heard a lot of good things about him in the sense that
I mean, yeah, 12 and 1, 12 and 6. So it's.
But not just that. I think in terms of like his play on field as well, he's.
I feel like if he's playing, Newcastle do better.
Yeah.
I think I had him in my Game Week 1 team.
Yeah. But yeah, that's actually this thing. Like, because you see a lot of relegation players, the relegation teams doing good because they kind of have something to play for.
Exactly.
Compared to maybe the top teams where it's like the Prem is kind of like United, City have kind of like rotate for the Prem and now they're focusing on Europe.
Yep.
I guess the teams that you want to look at for something to play for is that teams that are fighting for top 4.
Yeah.
In West Ham, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, Everton, Leicester maybe to a certain extent, but I think they have built up enough of a gap.
Yeah, they look to hold. I think they look to. I mean,
Yeah.
they're only 5 points behind United. United have
Oh, Leicester. Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's not like it's top. Coming second is not that far fetched as well. And
who's on the price predictor? Is there anything?
Price predictor. Good point. So right now it seems like Cresswell, Phillips, Lacazette, Mitchell looking for price falls. Lingard, Iheanacho, price rise. Johnston, West Brom goalkeeper, price rise. Calvert-Lewin, Gabriel Jesus, Anguissa from Fulham, price fall. Holding could get a price rise, so we might also keep him. Coleman, James, Greenwood, Patricio.
Fernandes had a drop.
Yeah, Fernandes had a price fall last night. Yeah. Although I wouldn't be too worried about this price fall because I feel like if you still own him, there's going to be a price rise in 35 with the double game week. If there's a double game week, people will be looking to bring in Fernandes guaranteed.
Do you think he's burnt out? Like it's been him men's season.
I don't know. I think like when Pogba is on the pitch, I feel like Fernandes is no longer in that central kind of area. Or like when Pogba is on the pitch, Fernandes's FPL appeal kind of drops.
Yeah.
But then the other thing to notice is United's penalties have also kind of dropped.
Yeah.
And when Fernandes doesn't have a penalty, it's a bit harder.
Yeah.
But if he does get a penalty, then it's 3 bonus points also coming up because of the fact of what he does in the game as well.
That's right.
So there's this interesting stat that I saw was that Liverpool have been one of the most teams to like give away a penalty. So that's some research that I found. I don't remember where I found it. Let me see. It was somewhere at Twitter that I saw. But that's possibly something to consider. Maybe of favoring Fernandes over maybe a Jota for starting at least. But I guess if you have Salah and Fernandes, I'll probably start both of them because even though it's probably written 0-0 all over it, I don't trust both teams' defense to be able to keep a clean sheet for a long time. Who was I looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. Every week, I'm always like, let me see what's happening the next week to decide. Let me see what's going to happen this week. I thought I'll make some more decisions. I thought I'd be more clearer after last game week, but I'm still a bit confused in the sense that there's not a plan just yet. I think after full break, and I thought after this game week, I'll be able to decide on certain players and how they're going, and what to do, what kind of changes to make if needed. But this game week didn't prove any help.
Yeah. So this was the tweet I saw. It's if Phillips does not play again for Liverpool, the door. Blah. Liverpool had given 8 pence second after West Brom, while United took 9 pence second after Leicester. So there's a 0.42 pen per game ratio for the upcoming game. Okay, and this is what I was talking about. Fernandes being high up on the stats. So this is goals imminent table where it shows. I think this is last 4 game weeks. If I can load the table.
Man, your internet, jeez.
Yeah, that
dial-up connection.
I feel
Oh, we lost it.
computer's processing ability. I think it's my computer more than my internet, to be honest.
Yeah, I think every week that goes past, I try do something that is against the template with your Schmeichels and your Madison and stuff. None of them have paid any dividends at all. So that's the biggest losing ground. So I might just keep taking risks.
Fair enough.
As we're closing in the season.
This is goals imminent, I believe. So Bruno Fernandes. Damn it. Table went. Let me hold on. Let me load this. Let me stop share for a minute. Get the thing up. And then get it for you guys. Because the stats prove that like Bruno Fernandes is still like kind of worth holding on.
Yeah.
Obviously, while stats are one thing, it's the man still has to deliver for his price point.
Yeah.
So that's the one where it shows. So Bruno Fernandes 14 goal attempts. This is last 4. And expected goals 1.25. Richarlison is on top of that list in the last 4. Followed by Sterling, Havertz, Mane. So this is the last 4 games that the players have played. That's why Sterling is on the and Havertz are on that list as well. Mane, Bissouma, Mount, Mitrovic, McGoldrick, and Armstrong. So that's expected goals. And the next picture I think is expected assist. Hence why I think maybe it's still worth keeping Fernandes. So this is the other thing. Tielemans is why I told you with regards to Tielemans and Madison. Tielemans is top of that, 22 crosses in the last 4. And 18 corners. This guy is basically like the Trent Alexander-Arnold of Leicester at this point. And then there's De Bruyne, obviously, with 22 crosses and 13 corners. But you see Fernandes. Fernandes is right there, right here. He's still on this list. But then there goes Shaw on the 3rd. Like I told you, Shaw 19 corners, 33 crosses. I think Shaw has the most chances created for fullback in the top 5 leagues probably in Europe. So his chances of getting an assist are really high.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fernandes still there. Rodriguez, another option I told you from Everton, with him back. Everton with good fixtures and a potential double as well.
Damn, what do I do with Madison? Maybe I have to get him out.
I mean, you could just keep him and see what happens against Southampton. He's still a really good player.
Yeah.
But yeah, any thoughts after seeing all of this?
Interesting. I feel like a lot of these players, they look really, really good in terms of their stats.
Yeah.
But Clemens hasn't performed. Smith Rowe hasn't performed.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Zinchenko hasn't performed. Bruno hasn't performed. So yeah, I guess that's just one thing. But I think, as you said as well, a bit of form and a bit of in delivery is always.
Yeah, that's true.
What the manager's looking for, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing at the end of the day. They look at the points and say, "Well, good. It's really good. Where's the point?"
Yeah, that's true.
But in saying that, I think this is really important in the sense that like it's showing that they're coming close, very, very close.
Yeah.
And Bruno is not a player we should discount very easily.
Yeah, fair enough.
The highest scoring midfielder with Salah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think, as you said, I think this game with Liverpool is going to be. I don't think it's going to be a 0-0 game. I think both sides will score, especially with Liverpool's depleted defense and very strong attack. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game. See if I can.
So I guess it's worth checking and seeing. If you have Trent, I'll still keep Trent for his attacking. more than like I don't expect a clean sheet from Trent at this point. I expect more of attacking returns than I do for a clean sheet.
He should just be moved to a midfielder. And focus on,
Yeah,
he has no
He's expensive
defense.
defender. 7.6 million, isn't he? 7.6.
yeah, he's very expensive for a defender.
I don't
He should
have
just
it.
be like how Bale was. Remember Bale when he first started was a left
As
back,
fullback.
fullback, and then made himself all the way to the top. That's what Arnold
Uh,
should do. He's not a
but
good
yeah.
enough defender.
Cool. So final
Yeah.
thoughts.
Final thoughts. Now I'm made to think what I'm going to do with Madison, but for sure Captain Kane unless something else happens. But otherwise, no change. But I'll think about Madison what to do.
Cool. Rushant.
Me, I think, yeah, I guess Kane captain, go with that and hope for the rest of the players to deliver something. I don't think some of the, like, especially the last two games in the fixtures you got here, West Brom, Wolves, Burnley, West Ham, 2 weeks ago, it would have been definitely a one-sided game with West Ham and Wolves crushing them. Now it's not as easy as it looks. I think they both, West Brom and Burnley, have bounced back. So it'll be definitely interesting games and a lot of differential games. A lot of people have Lingard and all the Wolves players. So yeah, definitely gonna be another an interesting game week, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Same. I'll probably go with Kane captain. Whether I make a transfer or not is probably very dependent on whether we hear any news for game week 35 or not.
Yeah. When do you think that'll happen?
But don't know. The Prem has to, I think, tell. They
They
haven't
wait
told
for
yet.
like when the game week's just about to start, 5 minutes before, and then they'll announce it.
Yeah, probably. Or they'll probably announce it right after the deadline.
Yeah.
So that could be a so like I'll also monitor for like injury situations, monitor for Phillips' injury situation, to see what Liverpool's defense will look like. Because if Fabinho moves back into midfield, that does change the aspects of like Liverpool's going forward as well.
Yeah.
So something to monitor and something to see. Yeah. That is basically what I have.
Yep.
Hopefully there is no Tuchel rotation for me because I have
Mm.
still 2 Chelsea players and they're not out of that tie yet. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for joining. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. I am very close to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully I can hit it before the end of the year. So we'll see. And thank you to Abin and Rushant as well for joining. It's been a longer podcast compared to usual, but yeah, hopefully all of us come with green arrows next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fun, guys.
Cool. Thank you.
See
See ya.
ya.
Good luck this week.
Yeah.